Topic 1. Trump administration imposes 17% tariff on Mexican tomato exporter, affecting agricultural exports. The Trump administration has imposed a 17% tariff on fresh tomatoes from Mexico, impacting the country's agricultural exports. This tariff took effect on July 14th, placing Mexico, the largest supplier of tomatoes to the US, in a difficult position. Veggie Prime, a major producer exporting 100 tons of tomatoes weekly to the US, now faces the need for price adjustments. Experts warn that this tariff could lead to a 5 to 10% decrease in Mexico's tomato exports, potentially resulting in the loss of 200,000 jobs. The Mexican government is exploring other international markets, like Japan, but is struggling with high transportation costs. Veggie Prime is experimenting with peppers as an alternative, while the Mexican government seeks ways to support small producers. Topic 2. Data breach at T-app raises cybersecurity concerns. The T-app, designed for women to anonymously share information about men they date, recently experienced a data breach involving the leak of 72,000 images. Among these, 13,000 were selfies and ID photos submitted for account verification, while the remaining 59,000 were publicly viewable images within the app. This breach affected users who signed up before February 2024, but phone numbers and email addresses were not compromised. In response, T is collaborating with cybersecurity experts to enhance system security and prioritize user privacy. Experts warn that images like selfies could be exploited in AI-based data attacks, advising users to monitor their credit reports. T has informed users that changing passwords or deleting accounts is not necessary. This incident highlights ongoing privacy and security issues in the online dating environment, emphasizing the need for caution when sharing data. Topic 3. China's assertive stance in trade negotiations with the US. China is participating confidently in recent trade negotiations with the US in Europe. Leveraging strong control over strategic minerals, China is pressuring the US to lift some export restrictions, including a surprising reversal on NVIDIA AI chip sales bans. Despite the trade war, China's economy is growing at a higher-than-expected rate, strengthening exports outside the US. In the new negotiations in Stockholm, China is expected to demand more concessions from the US, particularly aiming for the removal of tariffs imposed by the US, especially those related to fentanyl. China may also seek to ease technology export controls and is prepared to leverage its role in drone and electric vehicle battery supply chains. While the US plans to warn China about its oil purchases from Russia and Iran, China is likely to respond minimally to these threats. Topic 4. Former President Trump's influence on Federal Reserve and economic policy. On July 24, 2025, former President Trump visited the Federal Reserve headquarters, creating a challenging situation for Chair Jerome Powell, reminiscent of Michael Dukakis's 1988 campaign image issues. Trump criticized Powell and mocked his economic policies, raising questions about Powell's independence. Trump is dissatisfied with Powell's reluctance to lower interest rates, claiming that Powell's policies are not independent. He also criticized Powell for providing excessive liquidity during the COVID-19 pandemic, which he argues led to inflation. Trump desires to dismiss Powell, but this could raise issues regarding political independence. Topic 5. Potential US-EU trade war as Trump prepares for discussions with European officials. President Donald Trump is set to meet with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen in Scotland to discuss trade negotiations with the European Union, EU. Trump views the possibility of a trade agreement with the EU as a 50-50 chance, suggesting negotiations could proceed if the EU lowers tariffs by 30%. If talks fail, the EU is preparing retaliatory tariffs on $109 billion worth of US products. Both sides are discussing